weight, or you can get a record by length. You can get a record for different tackles, different types of fishing, different methods of catches.
Oh, that's a good bass.
One of the cool things about it is, whether somebody gets the record or doesn't get the record, they're always excited about fishing.
Oh, got a good one, Chuck. Good fish, good fish. People call it perch jerking, brim fishing, whatever. Oh yeah, big old red ear. Big old fat red ear. I would rather catch a 10+ inch red ear than a 10-pound largemouth bass. That's just me.
Chuck spent 37 years as a police officer, chasing bad guys.
The story you are about to see is true.
Got him.
Now that he's retired, he spends his days chasing big fish.
These are all trophy fish here, every one of them.
It's early June, and Chuck is fishing one of his favorite spots, the West Nueces River, north of Brackettville.
There it is. Got him. Oh, yeah. Oh, come on, buddy. There he is. I love the bank fish. I love to keep it simple. Another big old female red ear. I don't have to worry about cleaning a boat or charging batteries or anything like that. Just throw my gear in and I'm gone. Big old slabs. Yeah, beautiful day for fishing.
I like to catch bass. They're pretty good fighters.
Chuck's here with Leo and Yesenia Flores. They all fish here on a regular basis, and between the three of them, they have 11 West Nueces River records.
I met Leo and Yesenia off a fishing forum.
Beautiful bass.
We got to become pretty good friends. Lo and behold, they like getting records also. Yesenia's got the weight record. That's more important than the record or even fishing is just the people you meet. Get a quick picture of him holding this fish. And that's going to be the catch and release pending largemouth bass record. West Nueces River by Leo Flores.
Pretty nice fish. Thank you, Mr. Bass.
You're right. Welcome to the special March meeting for Zoning Board of Adjustments. It is 6 p.m. and we have a quorum of 4 people, and we'd like to call our meeting to order. Do we have a motion to approve our minutes? Motion, do we have a second? Second. It's a motion and second to approve the ZBA minutes from December 1st and December 1st, 2022 and January 2023. Any discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. All opposed? Motion carries 4-0. We'd like to move into new business. This is consideration and possible action for extension request for ZBA application VARZ 22-19. A request by Mandy Niskavis, is that correct? Owner for approval of extension of an already approved variance as permitted by the Unified Development Code Ordinance Number 2000-T to allow for a reduced landscape buffer along the east and west property line of a non-residential use that has a side or rear contiguous to any residential use or residential zoning district. This is general location of north of McHard Road and east of Hatfield Road. Do we have a staff report?
Thank you, Chair. Let me introduce Patrick Bauer to make the staff report. Patrick, take it away.
Thank you, Martin. Good evening, Chair and members of the board. As mentioned, the request before you is for an extension of the approved variance for the landscape buffer reduction between a non-residential use and a single-family residential use. And this approved variance was granted at the December 1st, 2022 meeting. And specifically, the reduction is to reduce the landscape buffer along, as you mentioned, the east and west property line, which is the side property lines, to 15 feet. And so according to the UDC, a variance to a standard applicable to a particular use shall expire within 90 days of the date the variance petition was granted, unless the property owner or applicant filed a complete application for a building permit with the city within that such period between the approval and the expiration. And so the board heard and approved this case on December 1st, 2022, and the actual expiration would be on March 1st, 2023. The applicant submitted that extension prior to the expiration of the variance. And that was due to a lack of quorum in the last meeting, so we had to cancel. They would have gone to that March meeting for the ZBA, but due to a lack of quorum, that meeting had to be canceled. And so since the approval in December, the applicant has been working with their design team to submit their plat and building permit. However, the submittal has been delayed by the civil engineer as they determined that a final feasibility for the project was needed in order to look at detention, drainage, and mitigation needs prior to that submission. And so the applicant was informed on February 1st, 2023, that the analysis would take 30 to 45 days approximately, which would further delay the submittal until after that expiration date of March 1st, 2023. And additionally, the submittal will further be delayed also by the need to plat the property before building plans can be approved. And lastly, just to mention, the applicant wanted to mention that they also noted that the completion of McHard Road could potentially delay the plans as well, as the design requires access to a road which has not been given final approval yet. But also in the meantime, the applicant is continuing to move forward with their building plans so that the plans may be submitted once the platting process is complete. And so the board may extend the time for filing the building permit application for a good cost shown, but in any event, the expiration date for the variance shall not be extended beyond 1 year from the date the original variance was granted. And so staff believes that the applicant has shown good cause and demonstrated their intent to pursue a building permit, and therefore staff recommends approval of the extension of the expiration date of the variance to December 1st, 2023. And that concludes staff's report.
Thank you. We have an applicant presentation.
Hello.
Thank you. Would
There
you
we go.
state your name and address for us, please?
Mandy Niskavitz, 6518 Rice Road, Pearland, Texas, 77581. Property owner. I just want to say thank y'all for being here tonight. And I would like for y'all to just reference the site plan that I provided for this evening. These are the architectural revisions that we've made to the site plan after the variance determination in December. We all know the holidays can get really busy and some people are short-staffed, but in reality, we have worked really hard on this, and our civil engineer did state that he really wanted to get everything perfect for us, being that we're in a floodplain and that we're contending with elevation issues in McCard Road, of course, and how that pertains to our development and long-term goals here in Pearland. So I just wanted to have you guys take a look at that, and we, with the buffers, given the 50% reduction on the east and west boundaries of the property, we rotated the building. We also made it a little smaller, reduced the parking. We do get to keep our trees, which, you know, we were very excited about that. We wanted to be here, show you what we have done. I'm learning from the ground up development that everything takes 90 days. So there's a lot of things in line, and I have to speak very highly of our contractor, Mike, here, that has our best interests at heart, and he's working very hard on making sure that our dream is one that will last the 25 years we're planning to then retire.
Thank you so much.
And we're here to answer any questions if you guys need.
Thank you, ma'am. We have any persons wishing to speak for or against proposal? Would you please go to the podium and state your name and address? And also, have you filled out a yellow card? Okay.
Yes, I did.
Thank you so much, sir.
My name is Mike Johnston. I am a general contractor, commercial, at Johnston Builders and Associates. I've built several projects in Pearland, Alvin, all over, all commercial.
I'm sorry, sir, to cut you off, but we do have just you have 3 minutes total.
Okay. You got to remember that when this was granted, the variance, it was granted in December. We had the holidays coming up. We couldn't get anybody to move anything till we got into January. This particular project is also an SBA finance project. I have to get the plans ready, the architectural. We've got 6 different engineers involved. It takes time being in the flood zone, and we have to get the plans finished and then go to SBA for the SBA's approval. I don't want to submit the plans till Pearland until SBA's approval, because I think it's only 90 days once you get a building permit that you have to start building. And all realistically, we're looking at least another 6 months to get the plans together with all the engineers. The architect has to be engineers because of the pandemic are running short-staffed. What I would truly like and realistically is to say, okay, I would like to request March of 2024 to turn in for a building permit, because we've lost 3 months basically during the holidays and just getting everybody kicked off. Our engineers are taking longer because we're building in a flood zone. There's a lot of mitigating to do. And, but I'm being honest, it's going to take 6 to 8 months to get a full set. We still have the pre-development meeting to go to, a full set of plans, working drawings ready to turn in for permit. I don't want to rush anything to get into permit just to say I applied for a permit to meet this goal. I would like to turn in a set of plans that are going to pass the first time and not get kicked back. That's a waste of everybody's time with the city and what have you. Realistically, I'd like 6 to 8 months to get the plans ready. We feel ready for permitting, then we have to turn them into SBA for approval. They run their numbers. SBA can take 90 days to go through all their hoops, and I have to jump through hoops with them before they'll say we're good, and then we can move on for a permit. So what I'm here pleading for is I know we can meet a March 24 deadline, taking the SBA into consideration, 6 different engineers involved, and once those 6 engineers get their work done, me and the architect have to bring it together. We have to look at it and making sure everything's all right, then we're ready to submit. But we have to go through SBA before we can submit. If I didn't have SBA to work with, I'd say in 6 to 8 months we'd be fine. But what I'm being realistic, so I won't have to go through this again and bother y'all again. In the holidays, did nothing. Even though we were approved in December, we couldn't even start with the engineers on our site plan. You can see what we've done already since that.
Yes, sir. Could you make your final statement, sir? You're past 3 minutes.
Final statement is, I'm pleading on the behalf of Mandy, if we could get a deadline for March 24. We will be ready. We will have gone through the SBA. There won't be any problems. We're not going to waste the city's time just turning in stuff that just to say we turned it in. I don't like to work that way. So
thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, sir. We have any other persons wishing to speak for or against? We'd like to move into staff and applicant discussion. Any questions, comments?
Yes. I have one for staff. Martin, is 12 months is the maximum statutory length we can extend this. Is that correct?
Correct. So section 2.2.5.2 discusses the 90-day window and then the 1-year extension beyond the date of the variance as it was granted.
Thank you. I just wanted to be sure. Thank you so much. That's the only question I have.
Okay, we like to, any other questions or comments? Okay. We like to move into consideration and possible action. Would you read the?
Yes. I make a motion to approve variance 22-19 extension as presented.
It's been motion and second. Any discussion?
Excuse me. For clarification, that extension is
December 1st, yes.
Any other discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. All opposed, raise your hand. Motion carries 4-0. This concludes the March special ZBA meeting for 2023. And we are closing at the end at 6:13 p.m.
Pearland is one of the fastest growing cities in the nation. And that's for a lot of great reasons. Set in sunny Texas just south of Houston, Pearland is a very diverse and globally connected community and has something for everyone.